This is Dumbed Down Life number 120. So I'll give you a bit of time there to think about what you want to talk about. It's been, 18 months?
Something like that. When was the last time?
No idea.
I actually think, wasn't it?
It was one of the Novembers.
It was a Napod Pomo, wasn't it? Not last year, the year before.
Yep. And I think we got to about day 6 and then...
Something like that.
Found some excuse to stop recording. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad, sir. You have actually got something that's quite substantial to talk about.
I have, yeah.
And I think it's something which you'd intended to talk about last year and the year before and the year before, and again generally come up with reasons why you couldn't do it.
Not quite, no. I'd planned on doing this last year, and for various reasons it didn't happen. But this year it is definitely happening. On Thursday, I shall be climbing Mount Snowdon.
And you're not doing it for charity?
No, I'm doing it.
Not?
Sorry?
Why not?
If you want the honest answer, I never really thought about it. It was just...
but everybody who climbs Mount Snowdon does it for charity, don't they?
No.
Isn't it a requirement?
No, Snowdon's not that difficult to climb.
All right. That's right, because you were going to do the 3 peaks last time.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to climb Snowdon last year, and I have wanted to do the 3 peaks challenge. But I can't remember why I didn't do it last year. Maybe just because I'm just lazy, really, and it seemed like a good idea until I actually thought about really doing it. Thursday I should be climbing with a mate of mine, Jay, who's one of the other scout leaders of our local troop. And yeah, we're going down to Wales tomorrow, and then Thursday we are climbing. But yeah, Snowdon, Ben Nevis, and I knew I'd forget this one, and it's the English one. Hold on, it is what's it called?
Isn't it up? You said down to Wales, isn't it?
Do you know? I keep saying that. Yeah, it's kind of across, really. Actually, Snowdon's pretty much on a level with us,
right.
Up just a little bit. But yeah, you go up to Birmingham and then come down a little bit to get to Scarfell Pike. That's the English one. So the 3 peaks challenge is the highest one is Ben Nevis. Do you want this in feet or meters? Or both?
Yeah, go for both.
Right, it's 4,409 feet, which is 1,344 metres.
But is that above sea level, or is that the climb?
No, that's above sea level.
So what level's ground level there then?
Haven't a clue. Wikipedia doesn't tell me this, it just tells me its height.
1,999 feet is the ground level.
Yeah. So Ben Nevis is the tallest one in the UK, that's obviously in Scotland. Then it goes to Wales, which is Snowdon, which is 1,085 metres, or 3,560 feet. And the final one is Scarfell Pike in England, which is 978 metres, or 3,209 feet.
And do you normally do all 3 in a day, or
24 hours? In
24 hours.
Yeah, that's the challenge. The 3 peaks challenge is to climb all 3 in 24 hours. I believe the clock starts when you stand at the foot of one of the mountains.
Right.
So it doesn't include your travelling time from your home base, because obviously if you're in Cornwall, that does kind of put you at a bit of a disadvantage. The common way of doing it is Ben Nevis, Scarfell Pike, and finish with Snowdon.
Right.
Because you're then basically working your way down the country. And Ben Nevis is by far the hardest one to climb, so it's not wise to do that last.
No. But and is this sort of going to be a tester as to whether you want to do the 3, or?
More than anything, Darren, it's a personal challenge just for me to see if I can physically do any of them.
Any of them? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm massively unfit. I used to do hill walking when I was a scout myself.
Yeah.
And kind of enjoyed it. But I just really want to see if I can do it myself.
How did you end up not doing the 3-peak challenge when you were a scout? Again, I thought that was a rite of passage.
Not in our scout troop, it wasn't. No, we did the Yorkshire 3 peaks. There's loads of these little sort of walking challenges.
Pick one of these, yeah, I see.
And the Yorkshire one, there's 3 peaks quite close together called Whernside, Ingleborough, and Pennygint. And I have walked all 3 of those, but not in the allotted time for a challenge. But I have walked all 3 of those.
As 3 individual
walks over the course of a week. We went up to Yorkshire for a week. We sort of did one, then did something else for a day, then did another one, and so on until we'd done all 3. But yeah, Snowdon, this is the challenge for me. Which I'm really quite looking forward to.
And we shall get a report when you get back as to how it went, I hope.
Yeah, I've got loads more information if you want to talk for longer.
Well, I want photographs and more information about how it went. rather than a whole bunch of facts and figures that you're reading off Wikipedia.
Well, I will say, for anybody who's interested, I will be walking the pig track.
Okay, what's the difference? Is it an easier? Is it like hard, medium, and?
It's kind of in the middle. There's the Llanberis route, which we're camping in the village or town of Llanberis, and there is a route from the town up to the summit, but that is sort of the most gentle slope.
Right.
Still can be quite dangerous. 2009, there were 4 people killed whilst going up it. When it gets icy, that route itself can be quite dangerous, and 4 people fell off the side of a cliff and died. But that is by far the easiest route. Yeah. One of the hardest is one called Grib Gok, which is it's like a ridge walk, and that is quite dangerous because it's a bit of a scramble. But the route I'm taking is, like I say, the pig track, which runs sort of along the base of Grib Gok. So if you imagine Grib Gok is a ridge, it's like a point, knife edge that you walk across. Yeah. If you go down the side of that halfway, there's another track, and that's the track I shall be taking, which is kind of smooth until you get towards the actual summit of Snowdon, and then it goes up quite steeply on a zigzag. And that bit is going to be the challenge for me. And
the guy that you're doing it with, has he done it before, or is this
many times, yeah.
Oh, many times, okay.
Yeah, he's quite an experienced walker. He did Grib Gok the I think he went in February or something stupid, when it was like really snowy. And he's sort of an avid walker, so I'm in good hands.
So you mentioned it, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll take you up next week if you want.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I said, yeah, I'd love to do it. And he says, right, we'll pick a date. And we picked a date and worked out when we could do it. And that's it, pretty much. And I'm borrowing most of his spare equipment. This is how much he's into it. He's got spare equipment. So I'm borrowing most of his kit to do it in.
Well, I did my own bit of a walking challenge just recently.
Right.
8 pubs with a pint in each.
You went on the pod crawl, didn't you?
I went on the pod crawl. You should have come with us, mate. It was great.
If I hadn't have had my daughter, I would have come.
Oh, you could have brought her with you.
Yeah, right. Middle of London with a load of drunk people with my 8-year-old. I think not.
Yeah, it started off with M&M World. Because that's just off Leicester Square. And sort of filled himself up with chocolate before going on the pub crawl. But yeah, it was brilliant. Got to see Dave and get some of the other podcasters.
The award-winning Dave.
The award-winning Dave. And didn't he tell us about it all the time? God, he just wouldn't shut up.
Can we just pause for a second? Embarrassingly, I got a phone call from the guy that's taking me up Snowdon.
Well, yeah, go on.
You're listening to Dumbed Down Life.
So, just to prove that we're still bringing the cutting-edge stories to the show, since we've last recorded, God, Osama bin Laden was found.
Did Obama get re-elected?
Re-elected, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he elected the first time? No,
there was something called the Olympics as well, wasn't there?
Oh, blimey, yeah, there wasn't. That was a good bit of telly, that was, the Olympics.
Yeah, I did. I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, but it was very, very interesting and fun to watch.
Well, because there was so much on, you couldn't really have gone the whole period without seeing any of it.
I did like the opening ceremony. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, it was quite long.
I must admit, I think I was on camp that weekend, and I came back and watched it on iPlayer and skipped the boring bits.
Oh, so it's quite short for you.
I'm really good.
But one of the things that is a little nearer to today is the Google Glass. What are your thoughts on that?
I'd absolutely love one, but you'd look like a dick wearing it.
Why would you love one? What would you do with it?
I don't know. I just really like the idea of not having to keep taking your phone. I know it does sound ridiculous and it sounds really lazy, but to take your phone out your pocket to do stuff, and walking into lampposts because your eyes are down at your screen and that kind of thing. I really like the idea of having just this sort of heads-up display. I think it's a brilliant idea. But
aren't you going to walk into things by having your attention drawn to the corner of your glasses?
No, because it's transparent. You can see through it. It's only a little thing in the top corner of your field of vision. Whereas when your head's looking down at the pavement at the screen, you're not actually looking forwards at all, are you?
I think my issue with it is the way that it's relying so heavily on voice. And
have you actually seen any demos and sort of the little videos of it? There's a lot of hand gestures goes on with the side of the arm.
Yeah, but it's OK Glass, take photo. OK Glass, take video.
But
OK
isn't there going to be gesture alternatives to that?
Which is going to look almost as bad, isn't it? With people stood there making minority reports.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, the argument for the voice thing is the people that get upset over privacy and stuff. You can't hide what you're doing.
Well, you can, because I can say, OK, Glass, start recording, and then walk onto the train and start recording people.
Yes, but if you wanted to take a photo, that's instant, isn't it? You would have to stand there in front of somebody and say, OK, Glass, take a photo. If you were filming, yes, I can fully agree with that. You start it beforehand.
Yeah, but if you're taking HD video, why would you need to take a specific photograph? If there's a...
Just steal the frame that's going to be framed.
Yeah, exactly. You see, the whole talking thing, talking to computers and having computers talk to you, there doesn't seem to be a right time for it. Because if you're in a home environment where there's other people watching television or whatever, then you can't talk to your computer because either you're disturbing the rest of the family or their noise is going to be disturbing you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in an office, quite often it's going to be dead quiet.
You've not had a modern iPhone, have you? The only one you ever had was the 3G, wasn't it?
Yes.
So you've never used Siri?
No.
You see, I use Siri a lot.
When?
All the time. In the office, walking around, at home.
In what way? So how do you use Siri?
Well, when I called you earlier to set up this recording, I used Siri. I just pressed the button and said, call Darren.
Oh, okay. But the thing, yeah, it's not all quite there yet because, okay, in that situation, you're about to make a phone call. So again, you're not going to be in a busy room with people in it. You're not going to be in a quiet office.
I must admit, voice control of a computer in an office situation is a really silly idea. It just will not work.
Yeah.
Because there's too much is it ambient sound going on. And A, you look and sound a prat, and B, the computer will get easily confused who's talking to it.
But are you going to sit there with your Google Glass on and say, Google Glass, open Facebook?
No, see,
Scroll.
The use I can see, yeah, the use I can see for it is an example. Again, going back to me climbing Snowdon on Thursday, I've got an app on my iPhone called LifeLapse, where you put it in a pouch, wear it around your neck on sort of like a lanyard kind of thing. And it's almost a stop motion thing. It will take a photo every 30 seconds.
Yep.
And then when you finish, you have the option of making that into a time-lapse video, or you can steal individual frames, the individual photos that it's taken.
Are you actually going to do that?
I'm assuming the battery life of the iPhone allows me to. Yes, I am. Yeah. So you're basically walking around taking photos without you having to take the photo.
Yeah.
Now, for things like, say, for example, 4 or 5 years ago, we went to the Star Wars Celebration exhibition.
Yeah.
If you'd have got something like Google Glass then, you could be walking around in that sort of an environment taking photos, couldn't you? Or taking a video of what you're looking at without... there was a thing on the BBC site earlier on in the week. Yep. Was it today?
Yep.
About people spending so much time taking photos and videoing the event they're at. Are they actually experiencing the event?
Yeah.
Because their concentration is on taking the photo. Now, if you were wearing this camera, you can just ignore the fact that it's filming. And you can be walking around actually taking part in the event itself and then look back at the video later on. In those sorts of situations, I can see it having a lot of use. You know, I go camping with the Scouts, or I go hill walking, or I do this event or that event. I can have a video record of what I've done without having to stand there all day with a camcorder in your arm. In that situation, I can see a use for it. On a day-to-day basis, just walking to work, I really can't see... I mean, again, all of this technology that Google Glass will do, you can do now with a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's just being projected onto a little screen, so you don't need the phone in your hand. So how often do you walk to work and wonder where the nearest Starbucks is?
Yeah.
You don't tend to use your phone every day in that kind of way, do you? If you're going somewhere you hadn't been, like a day out in London or something, you might decide to find out what's the quickest way to get to that tube station. And then you've got this heads-up navigational display where you don't need to be looking at your phone and waiting for somebody to come along and nick it off you or bump it.
Yes, because they're not going to nick your glasses, aren't they?
But if they nick your glasses, they nick your glasses. You've still got your phone because that's in your pocket.
So is this just an interface to your phone?
It's not a thing of its own right. It's an interface to the phone, isn't it? Yeah. It's still using a phone for its connectivity.
Yeah.
I think it's storing the videos on a memory card or something within the frame, but to actually use the connectivity, it's using a Bluetooth connection to your phone. So if they walk off with that, yes, you've lost £400 or £500 worth of hardware, but you've still got your phone.
Yeah.
No, I can see a use for it, but not a day-to-day. It's not going to be sort of as common and widespread as a smartphone is. I really don't see that happening. But I can see a use for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm treading cautiously because I didn't see the use for pads, for, tablet computers.
Yeah.
And yet now I loathe the fact that I have to open up my laptop to do it.
Yeah, me too. My computer really only got used since I bought the iPad. The only time I've used it is to play one game that isn't on the iPad. It's the only game I play on it, and for podcasting. And we kind of haven't done that since I bought an iPad.
Yeah.
So yeah, my computer pretty much sits here gathering dust.
There is a video, and I'll try and find it so I can link it back to you, of a guy who has put together a whole bunch of Android apps and so forth, so that and along with home automation, so that he walks in his house and says, "I'm home," and the lights all come on at 75%, and then he says, "Turn on TV, Netflix." And it all comes on and all starts to work.
Nice.
But, yes, but you come through the front door. There's a switch there, so instead of pushing the button on your phone and saying "Ding, I'm home," you come through into the hall and you push the switch and the lights come on.
But isn't it good from a geeky point of view, just because you can?
Well, because you can's been there for a long time, and it just hasn't. It involves too much integration, and at the moment you lost your phone, you're like, can't turn the lights on.
There's got to be a manual override, surely.
Yeah, it's always been the image of the future to walk in and say hello to the computer, and the computer welcomes you home and tells you your dinner's ready. And
well, it's the enterprise, isn't it?
The problem is, you either go with a Sony television, a Sony lighting system, a Sony telephone, a Sony microwave, Sony dishwasher, or they don't talk to each other and nothing happens.
But isn't there the if it's a simple case of turning things on or off, then isn't there?
Yeah, the
X10s. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. So you can literally just say, "I'm going to." Can't you do it from a location-based thing as well? Because all the phones have GPS. As you pull up the driveway, it opens your garage for you.
No, well, it's sort of simplifying that at the moment. I've even got my phone now so that it sets profiles according to location. So when I'm near work, it automatically goes into silent.
But why is that any different? You can just pull your phone out and click a button and put it on. Why is that any different to be able to walk in and turn the lights on?
At the moment, I have to unlock my phone. I have to go into the settings. I have to mute the phone. Whereas at the moment, I walk near the office and it mutes itself. But that's all within the phone. That's not. I walk into the office and the lights come on and it welcomes me. It turns on my computer, logs me in. Yeah, that's the step which I think. Well, going back to what I was just saying earlier. A lot of the problem is these things aren't done by standards. They're done by... Well, this guy had to program several different systems, several different languages to sort of cobble it together to work.
Yeah.
There's not
a standard protocol, is there?
Yeah. There's not a consumer system that's easy enough to just plug in and work. So it's...
I think glass will do well. But I don't see people wearing them every day. They'll be event wear, if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a head camera.
Bullet cam thing, yeah.
And I was considering wearing that to do the walk.
You'd want really a shoulder mount or something because it comes on a headband, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I've decided not to because A, the quality isn't particularly good as a camera.
Yep.
And B, I'll look like a dick.
Not so much. I think you do see it a lot on motorbikes now.
You do, yeah.
Where people are wearing these cameras because they've had close calls. They start to wear these things.
I wish I'd have been wearing them when I had my bike accident.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, the last recording that we did, you just got your bike.
Oh, so I haven't talked about my bike accident. Which bike had I got?
Another show.
Which bike?
You just got the one back after they'd taken 4 months to...
Right.
trying to find the carburetor and the...
Right. Well, since that time, I've moved house. Jesus, has it really been that long? I've moved house, and the day before I moved house, my motorbike got stolen.
Lance.
What?
Another conversation, another day.
Okay.
Because we can talk forever. But then we end up with the next show going.
So what have we got to talk about? Yeah.
So good luck with your walk.
Thank you very much.
And when you come back, it'll be something to talk about next time.
Yes. Well, I am hoping, depending on internet availability halfway up a mountain, I'm hoping to be posting photos as I'm doing it on my Facebook profile.
And we shall talk again next time.
Yes.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.